In this video, we're going to talk about how to memorialize your Facebook page. But before we talk about how, let's talk about why this is important. So, everything that you put on the internet right now is kind of gray from a law standpoint. If you put something online and you upload it to Facebook, I upload all these pictures to Facebook. Does Facebook own that, or do I still own it? If you look at terms and conditions of most of the online software like Dropbox, even Apple, and Facebook, they have the right now, when I'm taping this video, that they can use that data however they want. Now, they're not saying that they want to do anything with it or they want to keep it from anybody, but it comes down to privacy. Privacy is super important while you're here, but really hard for your family to fight after you're gone. So there's steps that you can take right now that only take a few minutes to make sure that everything that you have on Facebook is safe for your loved ones. There's also other ways to do that with other online accounts, but it's kind of tough. This kind of came up to me when my mom was sick and we captured as much of her life as we could because my kids were 3 and 5 when she passed. But at that time, the internet wasn't so broad and so heavily used. So we did everything together, and I have copies of everything. There was nothing that she posted on Facebook, and there was nothing that I lost on her iPad because I didn't have her password. So what my mom did was she literally had a list of every account that she had, what her username was, what her password was, so if something did happen to her, I could access that. Now, for most of us, we get our bank account statements mostly online now. Some banks still send statements, some don't send them at all. So with Facebook, there's so much that people put on there, even kids and grandkids, that has replaced a photo album or has replaced kind of any family memory books or things, scrapbooks like we used to have. So if that's the case, then if something happens to you and you didn't write down your Facebook password, then it's really hard for people to get into that account. So what we can do is we can set someone up as a legacy contact in our own Facebook profile. So if something does happen to us, it's easy for them to get access to that account. Now, another reason this may be important is because if you have loved ones that communicate primarily through Facebook or through text, then Facebook tends to be a really easy way to let someone know an update on someone if they're fighting a chronic disease or if something tragic happened and you want to give everyone an update. It's really hard if you're the loved one and you're dealing with the stress of an emergency or some tragedy to keep up with who do I need to call and what do I need to say and who did I update with this and who did I update with that. So this is just kind of an easier way for your loved ones if this happens to you. In order for you to assign a legacy contact to your Facebook profile, they also have to have a Facebook account. You can't set someone up to have this power over your profile unless they also have a Facebook account. Before you set this person up, you want to have a conversation with them and say, hey, I want to set up a legacy contact in my Facebook account, and I wondered if you would mind being that person. They might have no idea what that even means. And you can explain it. If something happens to me, this is what I would like to happen to my Facebook page. You have 2 options. Today, you have 2 options. One option is it sets your page in memoriam. So that lets everyone know that you've passed on, something's happened to you, but it keeps everything there. Some people prefer to have that as an option because then people can go there and see memories that they've had with you, or celebrate things that have happened in your life. So it's your personal choice. The other option is your page is deleted. So you want to make sure that if you choose the latter option, that people are aware of that, and the person that is set up as your legacy contact can download your data. Your data would be photos, videos, or posts that you have made. So anything that's on your personal Facebook profile can be downloaded for your legacy contact, whomever that is. And once you set up the legacy contact, you can change it or delete it at any time. But I would encourage that you have a conversation with them first, opposed to just setting them up as a legacy contact, because they get a notification from Facebook right away letting them know, hey, you're a legacy contact for Bethany. And if nobody has spoken to that person, they're like, what is this? So just have the conversation. And if you go to my website, in the description below, I have a checklist of the steps to do, the steps so you can do this on your own, and then some light conversation starters. Nobody likes to talk about death, and nobody likes to have these conversations. But if you think about how much we have online, on our smartphones, our photos, our videos, our computers, it's really hard for your loved ones to fight for access to that, because the people are wrong. Whoever the service is, whether it's Dropbox or Facebook or Apple, we agree to their terms and conditions, which say they own it. And if we don't have the password to an iPad, we can fight Apple. People have fought Apple all the way to the Supreme Court, to the highest court of that country, and Apple will win. They will win. But it just happens when it gets into the news or it gets into the media that some woman is fighting to get the last pictures of her dying husband off of their iPad and needs the 4-digit PIN. And then things happen. So, it takes us a while to catch up. And the internet has just taken off and our laws haven't caught up. So there's a couple things you can do. You can try and add a digital contact or a digital will in your existing will. If you don't have that, or you don't have a will, then that's fine. This is the next best thing for your stuff on Facebook. There are different policies with every service. Facebook will acknowledge a death. They will want a copy of a death certificate or an obituary if you are not a legacy contact. And then it's still up to them. So you can provide all of this information. Dropbox has a separate policy. Dropbox wants an original court order from whomever is your fiduciary assignee in your will, if you have a will. If you don't, it's just tough. Okay, off my soapbox. Let's talk about how to do it. I have this listed on my website. Like I said, you can go get a checklist, a download, and just have this there for you if you need it. So what you're going to do, there's also a link. You're going to go into your Facebook profile. There is a particular area in your Facebook profile. If you don't go to my website, then you can't go to this link. So let me show you how to get there on your own. This is my Facebook page. What you need to do is go to settings. So you click on this arrow, this drop down arrow right here. It's on the far right, upper right hand corner. You click on the down arrow and it gives you this list. You're going to go down to the settings menu. When you get into settings, go to security which is right below general on the left-hand side, and all the way towards the bottom, right above deactivate your account, you see legacy contact. Choose a family member or close friend to care for your account. You can click on the pencil, or you can click on edit, or really anywhere that you see a finger. Once you see the finger that does this, that means it's clickable. So anywhere that I see a finger, I can just click. Okay, so right now I have a legacy contact. I'm gonna remove her. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna put her back. And this says, legacy contact is someone you choose to manage your account after you pass away. They'll be able to do things on your timeline. So I'm gonna add a friend. You need to know their name, their Facebook name. Sometimes people have their maiden name, sometimes they have their married name, sometimes they have not even their name. So you need to know that name, and you're gonna select that person. So I'm gonna select Ashley as my legacy contact, and I'm gonna click add. You can only have one. This is the message that Facebook is gonna send to her. I don't have to leave this message. I can change it and say, hey, Ashley, this is what we talked about. Thank you so much. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever you want to say. This is just the link to a Facebook article that explains what is a legacy contact. So if they want to see what it is, they can see it. You can also say not now. If you do that, it's not going to invite them. That message was sent to Ashley right away. Now, this other area is called data archive permission. This is if you want them to be able to download your Facebook data, your photos, your videos, and your posts, then you check that box, and that means they can download. If the box is not checked, they cannot download. Now, you can also request that the account is deleted. It's really a personal preference. Once I close this, I'm done. Now, if you want to remove or change, you go back to the same exact place and you click remove. One person at a time. I can add them or remove them. That's it. They can download the data or they can't. So you don't have to decide much. It's more important actually to have the conversation and decide what you want to do with it. And maybe you don't want to make that decision. You can talk to your family and say, hey, if something happens to me, do you think I should keep my Facebook account or just delete it? And they'll probably tell you if they think you should keep it or not. So that's it. That's how you do your legacy contact, and that will memorialize your Facebook page forever. Unless Facebook changes the policy, and then I'll have to do a new video. So go to my website, subscribe, and get all these great checklists and tips. Thanks so much. Bye.